Good morning, millennials. Welcome back to the Morning Toast. We made it through the quarantine weekend. It is Monday. It is so rainy and gross in New York, really giving off the ominous vibe that I think we're all feeling on day 9 of quarantine or whatever it is.
The weather is how we feel, and also I'm glad that it's nasty out because I just can't watch another beautiful day pass me by where I'm not drinking Sancerre al fresco.
It's so true. Like when it's really, really nice out and I take Theo out for a walk, like on a normal day, like I will go around the block one more time just like for the health of my dog and like my nose, like to get some fresh air. But having to be quarantined when it's so nice out, when you know like this is the day that you would go to the park,
that you would be at the pool at Soho House, like still like freezing your ass off because it's an ambitious move, but happy nonetheless.
Or like requesting a seat outside at Gemma, like doing crazy things. No. So when it's really, really gross out or super cold, like yesterday it was freezing according to Ben who walked Theo yesterday, it makes it so much easier.
According to Zach who stepped outside, it was cold yesterday.
Yeah, so this weekend was the first weekend that I actually didn't step outside because usually I have to walk Theo, but I have been paralyzed in my bed with a broken back, and Ben did every single walk this weekend because I actually couldn't even get out of bed to wipe my own ass, let alone to walk the dog.
That is so crazy that you threw your back out.
Have you ever?
No, but I woke up this morning because I did a workout yesterday, and yes, you guys, I have cracked in so many different ways on so many different times. Like yesterday, I was crackio. Like I actually thought I was just gonna like punch through my window and start to fly. Like I've cracked. Not only did I work out in my room, jumping around my living room, which I said I would never do, but I also ordered a Peloton.
Wow.
Which I think is the biggest crack of them all.
Me too.
Except once I ordered it, or once I had the idea to order it, I was like, why didn't I do this sooner? I think my biggest regret of life is that I didn't have a Peloton at the start of quarantine. And I feel like I am the target demo for a Peloton. I love to spin. I like to make my own schedule. I like to work out by myself.
Like, the good news is that you have so much time to continue to use it. Like it's only been a week.
No, well, the great news is that a spot opened up for delivery. I guess someone must have canceled their delivery. I was supposed to get it in 2 weeks, and instead I'm getting it today.
Wow.
Today. I've never been so excited for anything in my life because I really think that this is the thing that's going to get me through. Because yesterday I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get through. I'm losing my mind.
Well, I wish that I could say I was doing something like super interactive, a living room Pilates when I pull my back out. But no, I bent down in a weird way. And I just never got up. I started screaming in pain. Like I've never screamed so hard. And Ben came running in. I think he must have thought someone had jumped into the apartment to murder me because that's what the screams sound like. And it's so horrible. I honestly can't go into it. I'm still in so much pain, but I'm so much better. And I would love a muscle relaxer. If someone is a doctor who could just call it into my local Dwayne Reed, Ben will go pick it up. I need a muscle relaxer. Like I've never needed one more.
Oh yeah, if someone's a doctor and is just calling in prescriptions, there's a few things I can need. So if you could just reach out.
I'm having a hard time sleeping. Maybe an Ambien.
I'm feeling a little stressed. Maybe a Xanax. That would just really get me through.
And we're not picky. We'll take generic brand. We'll take Ativan. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll take whatever we can get. That's one thing people forgot to stock up on. Drugs. Oh, I was saying also on my award-winning live stream, I don't know if you've been tuning in, but Andy Grammer joined over the weekend. He sang everyone an uplifting song.
Oh, he
Keep
joined
your head
again?
up. Yeah. Oh, again?
No. He joined last week.
Did I talk about that already?
Yes, and he said, I was like, you can't saying keep your head up again?
Oh, no, then it wasn't him. I did one Saturday. Kelsey Weir joined. It was just like they're breaking. Oh, and I had a physical therapist come on and help me. Oh, and then Mark Sanchez came on.
Oh, wow, that I saw.
He was commenting, there's a verified person named Mark Sanchez. I'm like, how many verified Mark Sanchez's are there? There was only one, and it was the former quarterback for the Jets, who now lives a nice life in Orange County and has a podcast and wants to come on ours.
Oh, my God, we would love to have you, Mark. Mr. Sanchez, if Andy Grammer does come back on, could I put in a request?
Of course.
That song, Don't Give Up. I'm not
giving up.
I'm not giving up, no, not yet. Ooh,
Even though I'm close to giving up.
My zipper is a nice little cowbell.
Even if I'm down to my last breath.
No, yesterday I was so close to giving up. Like I was just screaming, I want to go to the Caribbean. And then I started to work out and I watched some girl on YouTube and I didn't stick with her. I wound up just dancing around.
Okay.
Like running in place with my arms. Like
Learning
dancing.
TikToks is a workout as
well. It is a workout, but I just was dancing. I think it was like a version of aerobics and just dancing to Sia. And
so retro.
Then I woke up this morning, I was sore, so I did something right.
Okay.
I did something right.
That's great. I woke up sore, but again, for totally different reasons. I literally didn't move once all weekend.
Well, the good news is that if there was ever a time to pull your back out and be immobile, It's now.
And it would be on a Saturday morning when I still have to work Monday. Like, everyone was like, you have nothing to do. I'm like, no, I actually have a very important interview Monday afternoon. Like, I can't just be lollygagging around my apartment all day.
Right. And that's the thing. The thing is, we have a very important interview Monday afternoon, something we've been working on for a few days now that we are so excited that we could finally share.
We are honored to share.
Honored. I'm feeling so proud that we were asked to participate because we have a member of the White House Coronavirus Task Force,
Dr. Deborah Birx,
joining us later today to answer a lot of questions and concerns that you guys are feeling or curious about, and we are just going to talk to her about the situation at hand.
So we're pre-recording today, so you'll get it tomorrow's episode on the podcast and in video form. She's actually not going to be here with us again because that would be against the quarantine vibe, and she's in DC doing important paperwork and important press conferences.
Yes.
But you guys asked a bunch of really good questions. If you still have questions, there's still time. If you go to our Instagram, just comment on the picture of her because I don't want to waste time. Like, I know she's busy. I'm just going to be like, Deborah, we have so many questions, like no time to lollygag. Can I just rattle off like a million questions? She's going to be like, yeah, Claudia, you're beautiful. And I would say, you're beautiful, Deborah, and I love your scarf.
Yeah, and then you would say, like, what's your favorite brand of scarves?
And she would probably say Hermes because she's like so elegant.
She's so refined. And then you would be like, let's fold scarves.
Yes. And then Heather Mooney would walk in.
Yes, and like with her quick burning cigarette.
Yeah, of course, which made her a lot of money, but not as much money as Sandy.
No, of course not.
No.
Anyways, we're really excited about that. So everything just sort of pales in comparison, but we'll try and get through the show, even though we're like so fucking stoked to talk to an icon, a medical icon. And it's like, we're so used to talking to Dr. Fichemin that you would think that we're prepared for this, but like, I do feel a little out of our depth.
I mean, Theo didn't come today because he was definitely feeling like a little territorial.
Of course.
When it comes to the medical field, like he's our go-to expert, but we have an actual human go-to expert.
Wait, did you watch Curb last night?
No. Oh, I didn't realize it was on. Great, I have so much to watch when I get home.
It was on, and this doesn't spoil anything, but we're getting a second medical opinion.
Are we?
Yeah, we are.
I'm really upset that Curb is planning on ending after this season because I was really looking forward to like a whole season of Quarantine Larry or some sort of social commentary on the coronavirus.
Zach said that last night was the season finale. So does that mean it was the series finale? It was pretty final-ish.
Can I just say, the only place I've heard that Larry David is ending Curb Your Enthusiasm is from Ben. So I should have prefaced that it might not be true.
Ben, who also told me that Peloton wasn't delivering bikes.
Okay, he was half right. They weren't delivering treadmills.
He was wholly wrong.
We're also going to recap everything we watched this weekend, in addition to our Toast assignment over the weekend, which was the Netflix original series, Self-Made. I don't know if you're listening on the podcast, but can you hear the rain? It's crazy. It's monstrous.
Let the rain fall down and wake my dreams. Let it wash away.
Wash away.
My sanity.
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 Yes, Christine Cavallari.
I wanna feel the thunder. I wanna scream. Let the rain fall down. I'm coming clean.
Wait for it. I'm coming clean. Luckily for us, the world turned quite a bit over the weekend. We do have some stories that are not coronavirus related, but of course, we have some that are coronavirus related because we are living in a pandemic, a historic one.
Yeah, but the celebrities are starting to, dip their toe in the pool of
Normalcy.
Making news. And I'm grateful for it. I really am, because it gives us something to talk about.
I'm grateful for you. Know that I am.
Okay, so I guess without further ado, I mean, we'll never know.
You'll never truly know.
In these corona times, it's never known whether or not it's time. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that it's Corona time to deliver the fast 5 stories that you need to know before you wake up and take a bite out of your morning toast.
And I'm just going to get right into it because today's sponsor couldn't be more pertinent because it genuinely saved my life yesterday. Wow. Sometimes self-care is as simple as taking a few moments for yourself to soothe your body and mind. One of our favorite ways to do that is with the CBD products from Kopari. Now, I threw my back out and I was talking about it all weekend, like I was being so annoying on Instagram, and I got so many messages. Someone was like, if you have a CBD cream, it really, really helps. I'm like, you know what? I do. I have the Kopari one and I've never used it on my back, and it definitely helped. And I was doing a lot of things to help, but I think the CBD product from Kopari was one of the things that was most effective. Their CBD products, they have a recovery balm, a deodorant, and body calm cream, which is what I used. Their products only use the full spectrum CBD power. Kopari's products use the only full-spectrum CBD powder on the market. Even better, they combine it with their famous organic coconut oil for maximum absorption. It's one of the most effective ways to deliver the soothing and calming benefits of CBD. Kopari is as dedicated to clean, sustainable, and quality sourcing with their whole plant CBD as they are with all of their products. If you're going to try a CBD product, you should do it right. Go with the best. Go with Kopari. Right now, you can get 15% off all CBD products when you go to koparibeauty.com/toast. That's Kopari, Kopari beauty.com/toast for 15% off your order. koparibeauty.com/toast. Sign on and get your back in shape. Get back in shape. I never realized how much I use my back. You know, I took it for granted. Like, you use your back, you probably don't know, to laugh, to go to the bathroom, to sneeze, to stretch, to watch TV, to yawn. Like, you use your back for everything.
You do.
And I never knew it. Never knew it. Took my back for granted.
Yeah. Well, we're praying for you.
Know that we are. I have 4 pillows behind me right now. You have no idea. I'm literally like Weekend at Bernie's. I'm being propped up.
Okay, are you ready for our first story?
Yeah.
Because over the weekend, a lot more celebrities have let us know that they have tested positive for coronavirus.
Okay.
Some of our faves, including Andy Cohen,
Travesty.
Colton Underwood,
Less of a travesty because he's young, but still a travesty.
Debbie Mazar.
A genuine a national crisis.
Yes, I totally agree. Those were the top 3.
I mean, I think Andy was planning on doing Radio Andy from home, and they were going to do a Watch What Happens Live from home, and now all of that has been canceled, which just sucks for us. And I'm really sad. You know, Andy's 51. That's not like the age that it should be worried about, but he's not a young sprout anymore. You know?
And also even young people like Colton are having symptoms, and it's not an easy virus
oh my God.
to have. And I think it's really painful. And so I'm just like, I'm so sad that he's dealing with this.
Yeah, it's just so interesting how celebrities are getting tested, you know, like it's nothing.
Right. And so that's what I realized, and I didn't realize it before, that any celebrity that either has tested positive or negative for coronavirus and is sharing it with the class, it's like you skip the line to get that test. And Ariel Charnas is out here like taking the brunt of it.
Oh, by the way, justice for Ariel Charnas, because what she did was like a little fucked up, but like every single celebrity and celebrities who are coming out and saying I tested negative, shut the fuck up. Like you shouldn't have gotten a test in the first place.
Right.
And now you're telling us it was a waste. Shut your fucking mouth.
Right.
Shut your fucking mouth. Okay.
Right.
Justice. I agree.
And especially,
I was hard on her last week, but you're right.
Especially the celebrities. No, because I just didn't realize that anyone who's gotten tested who isn't showing symptoms or is young or is negative had the same amount of privilege as her.
And used their connections to get that test. I totally agree.
Right. So also celebrities who are saying I wasn't feeling symptoms, but I got tested.
Why?
So why'd you get tested then?
Why?
So why had you got tested?
Another person who tested positive, which I literally predicted last week, was Idris Elba's wife, who was sitting next to him in the video.
Right.
Of course. I mean, she was literally sitting right there being like, I don't have coronavirus, but my husband does. So
right. And also, like, if Zach got coronavirus,
you have to stay in the house.
We have to stay in the house, but also I wouldn't ever get tested. I would just assume that I have it.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the thing. I was like,
why must another test? And I feel like
you shouldn't.
Some of my friends are having like a similar experience where friends of theirs who they've been with are getting tested because they're having symptoms. And so my friends aren't going to get tested. They're like, if they have it, then we know that we have it. Yeah. And that's that.
I found out that someone I was with on March 5th had just recently tested positive for it. So like I've been kind of freaking out about that. But I feel fine. And I said to Ben doesn't really understand like the rules. Like I'm just like telling him what's going on. And I'm like, Ben, you know, I have like a little tickle in my throat. And he was like, I'm leaving. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like if I have it, like you have to stay and like just get it.
No, if you have it, he already has it. Like you guys have smooched. You use the same surfaces.
Big time. Big smooch.
Big time smooch.
You know, so we did a little more than that. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just weird when you are like I'm not even personally affected by it, but it seems like a myth until like someone you know has it.
Yeah.
So now even a celebrity, like I don't really know them. Now I know personally like a few people who have it, and it's like, damn.
Yeah.
I know 3 people who have it now.
It is crazy. And then it just like community wise.
Right.
We are all affected.
And I read that China had 3 days where there were no new cases, but they broke that streak with 46 new cases yesterday.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so it was good, but now it's not. There's over 300,000 cases worldwide. Yeah, I read an NBC News article, and 13,000 people have died, which is so crazy.
And 500 people have died in the U.S. so far. And now that the U.S. has become an epicenter, where it's China, Italy, and now us.
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
Yeah. But also who has tested positive is Harvey Weinstein from prison. And I just want to say, like, on the one hand, it's like, oh, my God, like, justice has been served. On the other hand,
how did he get a test?
On the other third hand that I have, remember that conspiracy theory?
Yeah, I know. I thought the same thing when I heard the news. My first thought was, okay, so yes, Harvey Weinstein is like rich and famous, but he's not even rich anymore. He's in prison and he's a felon. Like, how the fuck did he get a test when there's like old people with pre-existing conditions who still can't get tests?
He's an old person with pre-existing conditions.
That's true.
And I think also in prison right now, at least 38 inmates have tested positive, and so I'm sure they're trying to understand like the situation at the
Yeah,
prison.
like what do you do?
Yeah, that's why other countries are releasing inmates.
Right, and it's like, do you value the life of an inmate less than the life of a citizen? And this really reminds me of a movie I watched over the weekend called Batman. And I know it's not revolutionary, but I just saw it for the first time.
The one with
Heath Ledger. Because Ben was like, Ben has been begging me to watch, and I said no. And then on Saturday night, I said you could choose what we watch, because he literally was like my nurse the whole day, and I was really grateful. So we said Batman, and I like rolled my eyes, and so I said I'll only watch the Heath Ledger one, and it actually ended up being
Dark Knight Rises.
No, Dark Knight.
Oh, well, also, I don't want to spoil anything in your comedy special.
Oh, yeah, but now it's no longer true.
No longer false.
No longer false. So I watched it, and Christian Bale's a hottie, and I was loving how rich he was. Like, I really didn't mind the movie. It wasn't very superhero-y. It was more of like an episode of Blue Bloods. But the whole thing is that there's two boats, and both of them have a bomb, and it's like, do you blow up the bomb with all the prisoners or with the civilians? And it's the same kind of quandary, I guess, we're living in now. You know, is the life of a prisoner less valuable than the life of a civilian? And no, it's not.
Yeah. Disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein has tested positive for the coronavirus in prison and most likely contracted the disease at Rikers Island. An official briefed on the matter told the Post on Sunday.
Like, I'm obviously mad that this is another case for America, but I'm just like not mad about the pain Harvey Weinstein's going to be in.
It's not even about the pain for him. Like, I'm genuinely concerned that he's going to get out of prison because of this.
Oh my God.
You know, because he could contaminate other people. He is old. You know, they are releasing inmates.
Do like house arrest.
I'm concerned that justice might not be served. Like, we think this is justice, but this could be the opposite of justice.
Imagine if this virus was a whole elaborate scheme just to get Harvey Weinstein out of prison.
Right, and like crazier things have happened because Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
No, and Khloe Kardashian was sentenced to a month in prison and literally went for a day, and she was like let out to overcrowding. So celebrities are always getting special treatment when it comes to prison.
They are, but I feel like Harvey Weinstein is a different kind of animal.
Yeah, he no longer has access to those types of privileges.
But I just feel like 2 weeks ago, there was nothing that could have convinced me that Harvey Weinstein would have escaped justice, and now I'm concerned.
Yeah, no, now he
has found like a loophole.
Yeah, there's an ounce of doubt.
Yeah, so.
And I hate that. I do. I hate it.
No, I don't think you're realizing like he might just be able to go home.
No, I totally understand. He probably will be on house arrest if this does allow him to get out.
Yeah.
Where is he currently? Rikers. That's New York?
Yes, but he was briefly in Rikers before being transferred to Wend on Wednesday.
Where's Wend? Like, who's in charge? Like, you know, it says a lot. Like Cuomo. I don't know if Cuomo would let him out. Cuomo's a leader. Cuomo's going to run for president after this, and he's going to win.
I think it's a warden thing.
That's a good point.
And
but like I've been seeing things about Kamala Harris. She's in charge of it in California. She's very pro the releasing of inmates. So I think it just depends, like the jurisdiction, the legislation. You know, who's in charge?
Yeah. But also, if he stays in prison, he could infect a lot more people.
Right.
And we don't want that either.
No, I know. And this probably sucks. Like, if you're in prison, you definitely can't have visitors for like the next 6 months. How boring.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Sucks. Okay, next story. It's the big story of the day, of the weekend. A lot of people are saying that justice for Taylor Swift has finally been served.
Because it has.
Now that their famous phone call video leaked online. So we all saw the snaps from Kim Kardashian 4 years ago where Taylor and Kanye spoke about the song Famous. And now a 30-minute video has leaked online. I watched 6 minutes of it, the highlights that a Twitter account posted, where Kanye tells her about the line that the sex line.
It's not even the same line. It says Taylor Swift might owe me sex.
Right, but then he also says, I also had this line, me and Taylor might still have sex, but he preferred owe me, and Kim preferred owe me sex, but he still wasn't sure, and she said, go with whatever line you want.
I love Kim's input.
Right. It's funny that the line that Kim didn't like was the one that made it, though.
Yeah.
And so people are saying that this is justice for Taylor because all along she's been saying that she did not give permission for him calling her that bitch. And in the phone call, we don't see him ask permission to call her that bitch.
Yeah. We'll get into the semantics because I'm sure you and I disagree on the whole thing.
Yeah, Steenie Swifties, I just want to apologize in advance. I love you guys so much, but it's...
Guys, just ignore her.
It's time.
I'm more concerned about the leak. Like, I think that this is so fascinating because the person who recorded the video was Kanye, like his team, their camp. So it's been in their possession for 4 years. Like, who the fuck leaked it? Now everyone's saying like Kim leaked it because Keeping Up with the Kardashian premieres next week and they wanted more press. And they always love to say that.
Yeah.
And I don't think that she would because first of all, nobody really wants to keep going over this on and on again. Like literally nobody.
Nobody.
So I don't know who leaked it. I don't believe that Kim's camp leaked it. I'm sure there was like a snitch.
Oh, for sure there was a snitch. I don't think Kim's camp leaked it because people are saying that this proves that Taylor was right. But all along, this is exactly, like, to me, this is no new information. When Kim shared those snaps, it was only ever that one line.
Yes.
And then Taylor's statement back said, I never consented to being called that bitch. But we had heard the call and she was in on the song and blah, blah, blah. And it was semantics. And like, she hadn't heard that line. We all knew she hadn't heard that line.
Yeah, I think that
but she was in on the song.
Okay, but the editing was really, really like strategic in the sense that it made it seem like she was really, really in on the song. And then everything I saw from this 30-minute phone call, like Taylor was so uncomfortable. Like she really wasn't obviously into it. He wanted to release it on her Twitter, like wanted to use her for her followers, which like, I just love that. Like even Kanye West is thirsty. Like I could totally respect, like as the thirstiest person alive, I respect the hustle. I just think that it was really strategically edited to make it seem like she was so on board. And then you watch the whole thing and like, she's visibly uncomfortable. She's taking huge pauses before she answers him. She's like it was a really awkward conversation. And that just didn't come through. The editing was very strategic.
Here's the thing. It's the exact same conversation that we heard 4 years ago, but now with hindsight and perspective, when we heard it 4 years ago and she had just come off the Grammys slamming the whole song and everything about it, and then you hear the video and it's like, oh, she knew about this, but she's slamming it, and now for 4 years she's been saying she did not consent to being called that bitch, and then you hear it again with the perspective of 4 years where she had said that and you see the documentary and she said that she was just uncomfortable and she wanted Kanye to like her, and now you see it, you're hearing it from that angle.
By the way, the only valid point you just made was that when she went to the Grammy, she said there are going to be people who try to take credit for your success. And that was a line that she approved. So that is a fair statement. But again, I just think the editing was shiesty. Because the edited phone call and then the 30-minute phone call were completely different. Like what I got from the edited phone call was that Taylor knew about it. She was so excited to be like in on something with Kanye. Like, yeah. And then the 30-minute phone call, it was like he was asking her to do something that she really didn't want to do. And she was visibly uncomfortable. And like he was just not even addressing it.
Oh, I didn't get that. At least from the 6 minutes, the highlights that I watched, and then I read some of the transcript. It's the same thing that Kim had posted.
Oh, no.
To me, there's no new information. And we always...
No, by the way, people don't think that it's new information.
She had always said that she did not consent to being called that bitch, and we had never seen Kanye run that line by her. And it was always those two stories.
Right.
And
by the way,
you could believe both of them.
People aren't saying this is new information. People are just saying that Taylor was telling the truth.
I think that she was telling the truth. And I think Kim and Kanye were telling the truth, where it's like, you're going to go and act like you never heard this song before when Kanye had a 30-minute phone call with you?
I think that Kim and Kanye were telling the truth, but it was like their edited narrative of the truth.
Right, and this is her edited narrative.
No, but you see the video. He didn't run it by her.
No, but then you have to go back to what she was having us believe 4 years ago. And Kim and Kanye were just like, oh my God, she's going to pretend like she didn't know clue about any of this. Like, we're so frustrated. We're tired of always looking like the villains. Here's what really happened.
I know, but in the video, you're getting the vibe that he is the villain. Like, it was so uncomfortable.
They show, here's what really happened. And that is like, and at the time, we were like, oh my God, she did know, and that's all we focused on. But like, what she's always said is that it was about that bitch.
Did she say... Before the edited Snapchats came out, did she ever say that she didn't know about it, or she just made it seem that way?
She made it seem that way, and the famous thing, if anyone takes credit, and she just totally, like, turned.
I don't know. That's not enough for me. Like, if she never said that she didn't know about the song, then how can we assume that she said it? You know what I mean?
It was, like...
It was a vibe, for sure.
It was a vibe, and she was just, like, being the victim, and I think Kim and Kanye were just like, seriously?
I don't know, that video, like, honestly, that 30-minute phone call, like, was enough to just, like, literally, and by the way, I've always said, like, when it comes to this
is your cross to bear.
This is my cross to bear, because I'm the biggest fan of both of these people, and I said, like, in my soul, if I really had to guess, it was probably that Taylor, like, was just, like, kind of playing the victim, but then you watch that phone call, and it's like, no, it was... Like, I just wish he never called her. Like, it was the most awful conversation. You could tell she just wanted to, like, be cool. And, like, she was, like, hesitating a lot and really probably wasn't happy with what was happening. And she was literally like, he's like, I want to run this lyric by you. She's like, oh, no, I'm so scared. Like, it was just so visibly uncomfortable. Like, you can't listen to the whole conversation and get the vibe that she was so into it. But, of course, you listen to the Snapchat version. It's like, oh, she was so into it. When that's just not how it transpired.
I think if you listen to the Snapchat version now, it's the exact same thing as what we're hearing now. But it's just with perspective. It's just with it. Yes, it's the context.
No. It's so different. Like because the two vibes of the two videos are so completely different, because the Kim one, she got like the last line of Taylor saying, oh, and then everyone's going to think I'm in on it. And it made it seem like she was like really like a calculated monster. But then the other version is just so human. Like, I don't know how you could think of the two as having the same message. I agree. There was no new information that came out of it, but you got so much more context. And to me, context is important.
It's human in the context of the last 4 years. But at the time when you have to remember where she was. She just won the Grammy. You know, she's Shake It Off. She's Model Squad. And she's saying that she's the victim. And then you hear this phone call and it's like,
but because she's Model Squad, Shake It Off doesn't mean that she wasn't genuinely uncomfortable during the phone call.
No, but you hear it through the lens of all of that, and you think, oh, you just hear it differently. Based on her saying in Miss Americana, like, I just wanted Kanye to think I was cool. I want everyone to like me. The fact that she worked so hard after the VMAs, did all of that, did that 1989, won Grammys just to prove herself. Mm-hmm. When she was doing all of that, I never imagined it had anything to do with the way she felt about Kanye and wanting to prove herself.
Okay.
But so now knowing everything we know over the last 4 years, everything that she's, been through, reputation, etc. And then hearing
you saying that I only am gathering that she's uncomfortable because of the context of the last 4 years?
Yes.
Okay, I disagree. I think that any person, if you don't know anything about Taylor Swift or Kanye West, you could listen to that phone call and be like, oh, this girl is uncomfortable. Like, she's being put in a position that she doesn't want to be in.
4 years ago, it wasn't even a matter of what was being said on the phone call. It was that the fact that there was a phone call and that she did approve a lyric about her. And we can get into the semantics of that bitch, not that bitch.
Yes.
But 4 years ago, it was just about the fact that there was a phone call and she was going around pretending like she was so offended and caught off guard.
But is that true?
For me.
For you? Like, so you just got the vibe. Like, she never actually said she didn't know about it. Did she?
No, because no one was asking her if she knew about it.
So I just think, like, to say that she was pretending like she didn't know about it, when was she or was she not? Did she ever say she didn't know about it?
No, but no one was wondering whether or not she knew about it. It was how she felt about it. And the way she was feeling about it made it seem like she, was so taken aback.
Yeah, but the way she was feeling about it is because she got 50% of the story, 50% of the line.
Right, but when she was going around, she never said, he asked me about this line, but he didn't ask me about that line.
But I'm saying, did she go around and talk to people? Or like when before the edited Snapchat came out, like, people were saying like Taylor Swift doesn't know about it. Why were people saying that? Did she say that?
No, not doesn't know about it because no one expected that she would know about it. But it was like Taylor Swift is so hurt by this.
But I just think like everyone's mad at her, like playing the victim when she didn't even do anything. It was just like a narrative of people on Twitter and people in the media.
To me, it is that Grammy speech that she made her win at the Grammys about that song. And it turns out that she was in on some piece of that song. And that's it. And I think at the end of the day, we agree because what she was so offended by, it turns out, is the lyric, that bitch, and she did not consent to that lyric.
Yeah.
So what she has always said is true.
Yeah. She was never lying.
And for Kim and Kanye, it was like their truth as well.
Yeah, I just think their truth was
very Bachelor. My truth, yes. Your truth, our truth.
I just think, by the way, I agree with what you just said. I just think that Kim and Kanye's truth was slightly edited. Like, and of course, you can't put a 30-minute video on Snapchat. I just think that they definitely left important pieces on the cutting room floor of context that give more background to the conversation. Mm-hmm. Like, it wasn't just a 10-second phone call. Hey, I'm going to write this lyric. Oh, yeah, let's do it. Bye. Like, no, it was 30 minutes where it took some coercing. Like, she was visibly uncomfortable. She wasn't super down. And he left out half the conversation. Like, I just think that I have the song lyric. I think that that's worth noting. I do.
Yeah, and that's what she always had said.
Yeah.
And Kim's videos portrayed that as well. We always knew it was a lyric. We always knew it was a lyric, and also it wasn't even the lyric that wound up making it in.
I know, so it's like this whole conversation's so dumb.
Yeah, no, but it was always just the fact that she was called. And she was acting like a girl who wasn't called.
Okay, but she wasn't acting like anything because she didn't actually do or say anything. That was just the vibe, the narrative created on Twitter by her fans and by the media. So she didn't actually...
Yeah, for sure. It's always the media's fault. That's the moral of the story.
Of course. If I could just blame a third party here, the media...
And also Twitter, #is over, canceled party.
Yeah, like, totally.
That's whose fault it is.
Yes.
We never needed a Taylor Swift is over party.
No. I very much would like to be excluded from this narrative, one in which I never asked to be a part of.
Still fucking talking about this. I literally, it's like the one thing in pop culture that like no one can agree on, and especially for you and I especially within our own selves.
Yeah, within my own self, I struggle.
Yeah. So whoever leaked this, like on the one hand, I'm happy for Taylor that like she feels justified. But on the other hand, like, why are you doing this? We have enough going on right now.
No, and it's like literally nobody needs this right now. Just please.
Especially since there was no new information. Okay.
Yeah, but at least we have a story for the day. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we do. Okay, next up, some happy news.
Brought to you by Scentbird.
Oh, I love happy news brought to you by Scentbird.
Have you ever gone up to someone and said, "You smell amazing. What perfume are you wearing?" Scent is the most powerful sense you have. A smell can bring on a flood of memories, influence your mood, and of course, enhance your natural style. With Scentbird, you can have great taste and mix up your fragrance routine without breaking the bank. Whether it's Tom Ford, Gucci, or Versace, Scentbird.com keeps you smelling good month after month. Excuse me, oh my God, I can't breathe. So Scentbird is a monthly luxury fragrance subscription service for perfumes and colognes. They have more than 600 designer brands for you to choose from each month. If you choose the perfume you want to try, I have personally tried both a Gucci and a Mal & Goats one that I really enjoy. You choose the one you want to try. They'll send you a 30-day supply. If you're not sure what type of scent you're looking for, you can sort and find your new fragrance by brand, style, occasion, season, and more. Plus, they now carry other products from categories like skincare, wellness, and makeup. They carry Kopari, Glam Glow, Glow Recipe, Tarte, and more. So we have an exclusive offer just for our listeners, and it has recently changed. So if you are wanting to restock on Scentbird, restart your subscription, check out our exclusive offer. You can get 30% off your first month today. That's only $10 for your first fragrance. Go to scentbird.com/Steen and use the promo code STEEN for 30% off your first month. That's Scentbird, SCENT, bird.com/Steen, STEEN, to sign up and use our promo code STEEN to get your first perfume or cologne for just $10. Sign on, smell amazing.
Okay, ready for some happy news?
Sure.
Meghan McCain is expecting her first child after suffering a miscarriage and will be isolating during coronavirus.
What?
Do you want to say something before I continue the story?
Oh, no.
That's that's the gist.
Okay. I just it's just so weird to me. Obviously, this is great news. It's just so weird to me that life goes on during coronavirus.
I know. Imagine how she feels.
Yeah, no, I just feel like everything stops. But, life is so weird,
It's so weird. She said, although this isn't how I expected to announce my pregnancy, both we and our families are excited to share the news with you all. She also said that she'll start making her View appearances by satellite and, quote, joining the millions of Americans who are self-isolating as a precaution to prevent the spread of COVID-19. I mean, this is actually a very pertinent thing and something that I plan on asking Dr. Birx about because we got a lot of questions about pregnancy and coronavirus. One, how it affects if you were to catch it, how it would affect your pregnancy, but also giving birth in a hospital right now. You can't have visitors come.
Right, and there's no one allowed to be in the room.
Right. So I look forward to asking Dr. Birx about this.
Yeah, and she's a mom. I'm sure she's sympathetic.
Yes, exactly.
But to Meghan McCain.
I'm so happy for Meghan McCain.
Me too. Her husband is a smoke show.
When I saw her post, I was so happy.
No, I know.
Maybe it's because we haven't had any good news in a while.
Maybe.
And she's also just a precious gem and to watch what happens live queen.
That's what it is. It's I just relate to her on a Bravo level, but Joy Behar was out. But now she's coming back.
She's coming back?
For Hot Topics today. I think they'll take it day by day.
From satellite? Or
I don't know.
But I think probably from satellite. She shouldn't be going into the studio.
It's at what point do we just let it go, when it comes to The View? Of course, that show
I thought you meant when it comes to isolating.
No. I just mean
That's how I felt yesterday.
There's 5 people and it's now one of them's pregnant, one of them's old, one can't come. At what point do we just put The View on hold temporarily? Even though it really is such a pertinent show and people are really relying on it for information. At what point is it too much? Go, everyone go home. We'll be back in a few months.
Or I wonder why they continue to film in studio, but other shows aren't. Maybe because there's so many different talents that they can.
Yeah.
But even E! News, they could.
What
just
have they
plug.
been doing?
I don't think it's been on. I tried to watch it last week and it wasn't recorded. But if The View wanted some millennial viewpoints, they could always call us.
We are available via satellite.
No, we're available in studio. Look, we're dressed. I'm wearing a blazer. Palm on.
I'm wearing a turtleneck. Okay.
Yeah, cold shoulder.
Cold fucking shoulder. I'm actually quite chilly with this little opening on my shoulder.
Okay, I'm freezing because it's cold outside and the weather outside affects the weather inside the studio. And I'm really cold and I'm wearing a sweater under this.
Whatever.
jacket.
It's better than being hot, guys. It's better than being hot.
That's true.
Well, we're really happy for Meghan McCain. Wishing her, good health and
easy
happiness.
Pregnancy.
Yeah, this is great.
This is great. I'm really happy for her.
And I just love unexpected news,
Yeah. It's so unexpected.
That's the thing about unexpected news, and part of the reason why I really enjoy it is because there's just a level of unexpectedness,
Yeah, I don't know if I would agree with that.
I would. It's not predictable, and that's my favorite part.
Okay, next up, YouTuber Emma Chamberlain buys a snazzy new modern home.
I'm gonna shoot myself.
Emma Chamberlain is buying the former home of MedMen cannabis kingpin Andrew Modlin.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yes.
I see when I'm in LA, I see those MedMen billboards everywhere. It's like a medical marijuana distributor chain.
Yeah, I guess he's doing really well because he just bought a new house for $11 million.
Oh, so he gave up his $4 million house to Emma Chamberlain.
He just gave it to her for $4 million.
As a gift, yeah. I just can't believe that Emma Chamberlain is spending $4 million on a house. And of course, I need to look into the back end, the financials here, because how does Emma Chamberlain make money? She is a big YouTuber, which a big YouTube channel can make you like $20 million a year, maybe a little less. She has that coffee company, which I don't think is necessarily raking it in.
I feel like it might do well.
She's the face of Louis Vuitton, and that definitely, well, she's a digital face, a digital partner at Louis Vuitton. I don't know if I would say face.
She's not the Foch?
No, but that definitely makes her cool, maybe million a year. I don't know. This is just crazy. And when YouTubers like have so much money coming in and they buy a $4 million house, do they get a mortgage? I feel
Probably.
like they just...
I think especially for YouTubers, even Chrissy Teigen said, no, wait. Yeah, they pay like 20% down and they got a mortgage. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I rent, so I don't know the logistics of being a YouTuber with a house, but I am a YouTuber and I might buy a house one day. So I just want to know what my fellow coworkers are doing.
I don't think you just buy it outright. I don't think anybody just buys it outright, especially if she just bought it now.
Oh, do rich people still get mortgages?
Interest rates are super low. Yeah, that's what Chrissy Teigen said on her Rich People Q&A.
Oh, she needs to do another one of those.
That they still do mortgages. They don't just buy a house outright.
I think that's smart.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is crazy. I mean, like, Emma Chamberlain is so small. What does she need such a big house for, you know?
I know, but I was looking at the pictures and, like, there's so much space for, like, TikToking and, like, making cool content.
Yeah. Also,
I love her TikTok. I think she's a really good dancer.
She's an excellent dancer, and she just hangs out with her friends, and she always reminds me of Margot. I enjoy her TikTok as well.
Yeah, and she, like, makes it her own, you know, because she's, like, in on the trends, but it's obviously not totally her realm.
Yeah.
And she just makes it her own.
Yeah, I love that for her. The form of self-expression is really, it's pertinent for Emma Chamberlain.
It's unexpected.
It's unexpected. But you know what is sad about this is that due to the Toasters' investigatory skills, they found out that Emma Chamberlain currently lives in the same apartment building as the Skinny Confidential. So like maybe, you know, her apartment is going to become available and then like they could turn it into a duplex, you know?
Yeah. Oh my God. How did they figure that out?
They have the same fixtures on the stairs. Like they're so insane. But the FBI work, and I double checked, it was definitely true.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And we need to live in that apartment complex. It's obviously where successful people live.
Yeah, because Emma's apartment already looked like nice and spacious.
Yeah,
with
she had
windows.
stairs in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh, if only. I'm really like, I'm not a jealous person.
Oh,
but
I
like
am.
people's homes, especially in these quarantine times, are making me so jealous, especially like those in mansions on a hill with a fireplace and a pool. Like, and now seeing this house for Emma Chamberlain, like I wonder if she's going to move in like soon and quarantine there.
I feel like no. I mean, honestly, this quarantine, it's taken a lot from me, but it's also now making me hate my own home. Like, I think it's so ugly and there's so much dirt and all I do is clean and I'm literally a nanny full time. Like Ben literally walks around and I like pick up the dirt underneath his feet. I'm started to hate my house. And obviously I couldn't have my housekeeper come and that would have helped, but
you know, I'm like cleaning every day. I'm using all my Lysol wipes.
Do you know how hard it is to clean with a broken back?
Oh, no.
Like, do you know how hard it is to like lean down to the washing machine and put your fucking sheets in?
That is rough, my friend.
Oh my God, it's debilitating, you guys.
How often are you changing your sheets in the quarantines?
Well, so that's a great question.
Yeah.
So usually I change my sheets every Wednesday when my housekeeper comes. So 2 Wednesdays ago, I got my sheets changed. And then last Wednesday, my housekeeper didn't come. And then, so today I threw them in the wash because I was just laying in them last night and they didn't feel right. So I think that makes it like 10 or 11 days.
Week and a half.
Okay, that's not bad. But I knew if I didn't change them today, I would have never changed them. Like I can clean. I just cannot change my sheets. It's my least favorite thing to do.
I could change the sheets. I can't put the duvet cover back on.
Oh
that is
God.
where I draw the line. I will scrub toilets. I will scrub the floor. I will do the dishes. I will do the laundry. I will fold the laundry. But I will not wrestle with that duvet cover.
No, I won't either. And then like when your sheets get out of the dryer, they're so wrinkly and I'm just like not in the mood. Like I really hate doing my sheets. Like I don't even want to go home after today at work because I know I'm just going to take my sheets out of the dryer because Ben is useless.
You should just like text him and ask him and say like, if you
I
ever
know.
loved me,
No, I know.
please put the sheets on the bed.
But you don't
before
understand.
I get home.
Like I do that every day. Like before I get home, I'm like, Ben, if you even want to be my husband, like please take the trash out. Like I use that excuse too much.
Okay, but you need to come up with something bigger then.
Well, no, I've been really relying on my back, and I think I'm definitely going to milk it because I would say I'm 40% better. And I'm really going to milk it this whole week. Like I'm just not in the mood to walk Theo, and I'm just not in the mood to do anything. So I'm really going to milk the back thing.
Yeah. But you should really do it for the sheets. Like, I'm just really relating to
I'm
you.
going to. Like, after this episode ends, I'm going to text Ben, like, I'm going to be home in an hour. Like, please, please, please. Like, I will do anything. Like, if you want to be married for 20 more years, please just put the fucking sheets on the bed.
Or you could, like, promise him something that's important to him. Like,
okay.
You know.
Like watch Batman too.
I'm sure you could think of. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Even though I didn't want to tell him. I hope he's not watching, even though he never watches, so I don't even know why I would say that. I kind of liked Batman. Like, Christian Bale is so hot. Except, oh my God, I forgot to say, I had the biggest problem with Batman. And it was that, do you know who, like, the girl was?
Oh, Maggie Gyllenhaal can't chant
How
when.
dare they abuse us like
and
that?
And it's like Harvey Dent
yeah,
and Christian Bale are and Batman.
Yeah, no, it's like the two most eligible bachelors in the world, like really good guys, so handsome, great jobs, big apartments, and they want Maggie Gyllenhaal. I just don't think that that's how the world works.
I completely agree. The movie is flawed inherently.
And then, spoiler alert, when Batman goes to save Rachel, but he ends up being there for Harvey Dent, and Rachel dies, that was the best part of the movie.
Is that Maggie Gyllenhaal?
Yeah.
Oh, she dies?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, I just saw it a few weeks ago, actually.
Oh,
but
really?
I guess it just didn't register.
Harvey Dent was handsome, but then he was walking around with that half a face.
No, and he was only like a good guy because he was handsome and he couldn't hack being two-faced.
Ugly, yeah.
And so it's like, so you're not a good guy.
Yeah, I just like
it's easy to be nice to everyone when you're great looking.
And to be honest, I never really understood like the Christian Bale hype because I saw him in Fighter and it was definitely really good. And when he's just standing, even as Bruce Wayne. And by the way, his name being Bruce made no sense, but Mr. Wayne made a lot more sense. When he was just like standing, I definitely thought he was hot, but like I didn't understand like why he was Batman. And then when he put the thing on his jaw, like just his chin area, which was the only part that was exposed of his body, was so handsome. Like I totally understood it.
To me, he really looks like Scott Disick.
Okay, to me, I literally cannot get him. I cannot separate him from him and the guy who plays Billy in Entourage, the filmmaker.
I don't know.
Billy.
Here, wait, let me Google it.
What the fuck is his name?
Billy Entourage?
Yeah, he's the filmmaker. He's in like the whole series.
Billy Walsh?
Yeah, Billy Walsh.
What?
Who plays him? No, I know they don't even look like, but I literally confuse them so much. It's so weird. What's that actor's name who plays Billy Walsh?
I think it's Reese Coiro.
He's like not famous.
This guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I get them so confused.
I'm sorry. You're blind.
No, I know.
Wow.
And even when I was watching Batman, I'm like, you look nothing like Billy Walsh, but I literally get them so confused.
That is the weirdest thing ever.
I know.
But Christian Bale is really a chameleon. It's crazy.
What else has he been in? I saw him in The Fighter.
American Hustler.
Oh, yeah. American Hustle.
He also played Dick Cheney.
What?
In Vice, and that's why they like the hair and makeup was really crazy for that movie.
Interesting.
Like literally in every movie, he looks like a completely different guy. He gains weight, loses weight, like he does the whole thing.
And I just love Christian Bale because he's not a thirst monster, you know? Like I don't even know who his girlfriend is.
He is all about the craft.
Yeah, and I respect that. And there are so many actors who pretend like they're all about the craft and just like gallivant around Saint-Tropez on yachts, but they're not about the craft. Christian Bale like doesn't leave his house. He just perfects his art.
Yeah, like I would say someone.
He also reminds me of Adrian Brody.
Oh, for sure. Someone who's pretends to be all about the craft, and he very well might be, but he continues to step out at a time when we're supposed to be stepping in.
Ben Affleck.
Is Ben Affleck. Like, him and Ana de Armas are living in an alternate universe where we're not all under quarantine.
No, I know, like
every
on the
day,
beach.
just Jared. These two step out here, step out there, go in the grocery store.
Step in!
I understand that, like, you guys had a whole press run, like, planned out, but, like, you're just going to have to put it on pause. And we will still be here waiting for you when this is all over.
I will be there with open arms.
I will be there with open armas.
That was good.
Thank you. Okay. Thank
you.
Thank you, Claudia. That's beautiful.
Okay, Jackie keeps quoting my comedy special, which I'm really flattered by, but it's like so annoying for the fans because the fans, you know, they're just dying to get their hands on my comedy special.
When they hear it, they're going to know what we've been talking about.
Claudia, that's beautiful.
Thank you, Miss Weissman. It came from my heart.
I can't believe like how many people are having to postpone like their tours, their concerts. It's so crazy. Like not to make it about me, but I'm so glad my tour's over.
I know.
I just couldn't deal with disappointing fans and like losing out on money. I'm so selfish.
Yeah, it's really that second one.
Yeah, of course. No, but the fans too. The fans.
It's all for the fans.
Of course. Like I have 3 of them,
no,
and they're really important to me.
No, but you're keeping the fans safe. So like you're doing what's best for the fans.
And at the end of the day, that's all my 2 fans want for me is what's best.
Just to be safe.
Yeah, and one of them is you, so I'm keeping you safe. You're welcome.
Thank you, Claudia.
Oh, stop. Okay. Oh my God. I don't know why I get uncomfortable when Jackie like mimics my set. I don't know why.
It's iconic. That's why it's stuck in my head. It's just like how I quote Legally Blonde. Like truly.
That's so nice. Thank you so much.
Okay, are you ready for our 5th and final
story?
Thank
you so much.
It came from my heart.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Are you ready? Because I think you're gonna love it.
Okay.
Ellen is one of the meanest people alive.
This. I love this. Yes, I did. Did I what? I loved it. Yes!
Quote, Ellen is one of the meanest people alive. Twitter users are sharing hilarious, most insane real stories about talk show host after a comedian offered to match each one with a $2 food bank donation.
I loved this. This guy, I don't know him, but he's my new favorite comedian.
Comedian Kevin T. Porter
started a Twitter thread and was
he sent out a tweet on Friday urging people, this is the tweet. Right now, we all need a little kindness. You know, like the kind Ellen DeGeneres always talks about. She's also notoriously one of the meanest people alive. Respond to this with the most insane stories you've heard about Ellen being mean, and I'll match every one with $2 to the LA Food Bank.
And then he followed up. He's like, they have to be real.
Yeah. And so you should go to his Twitter. It's at Kevin T. Porter, because people responded with their experiences and stories that they heard.
My favorite one is the girl who served Ellen at a restaurant and she had chipped nail polish, like not in the food, just like on her nails, like her manicure was chipped. And literally Ellen called the restaurant the next day and tried to get the girl fired, and almost did, because she was walking around with chipped nail polish. Like, are you fucking kidding?
Yeah. So
you're a server. You work with your hands. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Here are some of the highlights. A, she has a, quote, sensitive nose, so everyone must chew gum from a bowl outside her office before talking to her. And if she thinks you smell, that day you have to go home and shower. B, a new staff member was told, quote, every day she picks someone different to really hate. It's not your fault. Just suck it up for the day and she'll be mean to someone else the next day. They didn't believe it, but it ended up being entirely true. My friend waited on her and she threw a plate of salmon in his face because it wasn't what she ordered.
Oh!
My friend wrote for The Ellen Show for 2 years and told me Ellen didn't greet her once. In fact, upon employment, staff were told they weren't allowed to talk to her.
Oh my God.
Karen Kilgariff was her head writer for 5 years until the writer's strike. When Karen wouldn't cross the picket line, she was fired and Ellen never spoke to her again.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, there have been so many like rumors and myths about Ellen, and I think that it's so funny because she's really is like branded as the nicest woman in the world. It's just so ironic that like her TV show ended up being like this place of like real positivity, real change. Like she works with amazing organizations and she's always giving worthy people like money and cars. And it's just so ironic that like the person who like ended up being the face of that show also ended up being like behind the scenes one of the most evil people on earth. And there have been so many rumors about it. And I feel like recently, as like celebrities become more and more like transparent, like one with their fans, we've really come to understand that this isn't just a rumor. Like it's definitely true. I've heard just too many people in the industry, both people who like are celebrities and people who work like with talent, they work for management companies. Like I've heard from both sides that she's the worst, and I love that.
Yeah, and I didn't see that many news articles about this, but this was in the Daily Mail. And I just think it's important for people to like share their stories.
You know, and I just think it's important that we all just know. Do you know what I mean? Because
yeah.
I hate, it's like how we always say, like there are people who go around, like they go to the grocery store, they're putting their things on the treadmill, getting ready to check out, and they pick up a Star magazine, and they really believe that like all the stuff on the cover like is true, like Jen and Brad are back together. Like they really believe what people are telling them, but like we're investigative journalists and we obviously know the truth. So there are people out there who literally turn on Ellen every day, like they would die at the chance to meet her, and they don't even know that she's the devil.
Yeah.
I almost don't want them to know. It's too sad.
It is too sad. And she really does so much good. So maybe all the good outweighs the bad. Maybe
I know.
She feels like because she's making such a positive difference in the world that she can like, you know, even the scale on the other side sometimes.
Yeah, but how can a person...
Get her salmon right?
How can a person who like...
If it was genuine, she wouldn't feel the
right.
need.
So
yeah.
like maybe it's like the net. Like I just don't understand how you could want to wake up every day and like give away money to deserving people, like support veterans, support the LGBTQ plus community. Like how you could be that person and then also a person who throws a piece of salmon at a waiter.
Yeah, I mean, get you a girl who could do
Get you a girl who could do both for sure. But I need to understand, you know. And honestly, not that anyone's asking. Like, don't get me wrong, nobody has asked, but I think that if I was ever asked to go on the Ellen Show, I would most likely say no.
Yeah, I would just be too nervous. I mean, you've heard, even when Corinne came on the show and she said like, and you could even see in the interview, and you could see in a lot of interviews actually, every once in a while, it just gets like awkward and tense. And I think for
Mason
the people,
Ramsey.
For the people who are celebrities and they go on, like she has respect for them, she's able to.
They're friends.
Yeah, and they are able to like handle themselves. But I think when like, you know, someone who's gone viral comes on, or someone from The Bachelor, she sort of just like is so condescending. And I think she makes that part of her shtick because she can't help herself when it's sort of a nobody. Yeah. But she's very condescending. And you can, if you watch enough episodes of her show or enough clips, like you can see for yourself it's not so masked all the time.
Watch the Mason Ramsey interview. Like that for me was the first crack into the real Ellen. Like I saw like a little behind the scenes of how rude she was when he was just saying his biggest dream is to make enough money from this to go to college. Right. And she was like, what? She was so rude.
Yeah.
Like you can't understand his small town dreams.
Totally.
Yeah, so I definitely wouldn't go on Ellen. Also, Ellen's like right-hand man producer that she's like always putting on TV, like came for me so fucking hard on Twitter with my whole cancellation. Like when he tweeted it, he has so many followers. When he tweeted it, like it became a bigger story than it ever was. And we also like went to the same high school, and I know like many members of his family, and his fucking brother was my high school hockey coach, and he was the nicest man alive. Literally, I'm like, how can you literally be from the same person? And I didn't even know him. I'm like, why the fuck are you coming for me so fucking hard?
Yeah.
So that's why. Not that anyone's asking. I can't iterate that, enough. I will never go.
True. I support you.
Thank you. But like maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
No,
We'll see.
honestly,
We'll see when I get the ask.
There's a few things that it's like would be really prestigious. Even some like guests on the show, like that we've talked a lot of shit about. If they wanted, like if their press person wanted them to come on, like I would say no.
Oh, like big celebrities.
Yeah, like there's some opportunities that it's like that's just not who I like. It just goes against what I think.
Yeah,
I mean that's one like instance, Ellen. But like even having someone like actually I don't want to name any names. I don't want to say anything because
maybe they want to come on.
Maybe I'll feel differently about them one day. But like someone that I've like talked a lot of shit about on the show, if like they wanted to come on, I would say no. Like I would be too uncomfortable.
Yeah, and like maybe they come with notes. Like on December 1st, you said this about me. That is untrue. I just wouldn't be able to answer for my sins.
Yeah.
So I agree with you.
Okay.
Okay, let's get into our segment where we recap everything we watched this weekend, which for me was a lot. And that segment is brought to you again by Fiverr. Let's talk about finding freelance talent for your business or project. Finding the right freelancer can be time-consuming, frustrating, and expensive. Where do you go to find the talent? How much will it cost? How can you be certain that they'll deliver? Thanks to Fiverr, finding the right freelancer doesn't have to be a struggle. Their marketplace helps you get more done with less. Fiverr connects businesses with freelancers who offer hundreds of digital services from graphic design, copywriting, web program, film editing, and more. As a small business ourselves, we are constantly looking for freelancers when it comes to graphic design, video editors, different production elements, and I never really knew like where to go. Like I was literally searching on Craigslist, but Fiverr is everything that you need and more. You can find what you're looking for instantly. Search by service, deadline, price, reviews, and more. You'll know exactly what you're paying for up front. No negotiation needed. Plus, they have 24/7 customer service. Quality talent you can count on. Sellers have worked with some of the most influential brands in the world. Finding talent for your project has never been easier. You can review seller ratings, buyer feedback, and select the right freelancer based on your budget. Take 5 and check out Fiverr today. Fiverr.com, you will receive 10% off your first order by using our code TOAST. It's so easy, don't waste any more time to get the services you deserve by going to Fiverr, Fiverr.com, code TOAST. Fiverr, it starts here. Okay, so
wait, actually, I'm reading some comments, and I take back a little bit of what I said, because if I was true to that, then we never would have had Nick Viall on the show.
Oh, that's true.
And we never would have started such a wonderful friendship with him.
That's true.
So maybe sometimes it's good.
Yeah.
I guess it'll be case by case.
So let's jump into our Toast series of the weekend. We assigned everyone to watch Self-Made, which was the Netflix original series, inspired by the life of Madam C.J. Walker. I don't know. It kept saying inspired by. So there was making me think that there were certain elements of it that weren't true.
Oh, I didn't think that, but like, it was a very like cute picture, and I'm sure they glamorized it, and skipped over some things, or maybe edited like some cute conversations or whatever.
But like, was it true that she ended up stealing from Addie?
Oh, probably. But I didn't fault her for that at all.
No, it wasn't about that.
All she wanted was to work for Addie, but Addie was a bitch.
And by the way, the success of Madam C.J. Walker was obviously that the product works, but it was more so that like she was marketing and making people feel beautiful, not just a certain group of people, but everyone.
Yes.
And Addie never could have done that. Even though she had the same product, if Madam C.J. Walker never stole it, it never would have become what Madam C.J. Walker did, because it wasn't honest.
It's ColourPop and Kylie Cosmetics.
Yes! Oh my God.
It's the same formula, but it's all about how you're selling it and how you're making me feel.
That is so true. A lot of the reviews that I saw, people loved it. They weren't like in love with Tiffany Haddish, when I thought she did a great job.
I thought she was so cute, especially if Madam C.J. Walker's daughter really was like a free spirit, fun-loving girl. Like, then Tiffany Haddish was everything of the sort. I thought she was great.
I thought she was great too, and I loved when she moved to Harlem. Like, I loved that whole thing.
I love this story. I never knew this story before. I had no clue that she was the first female self-made millionaire,
black or white.
Yeah, in the U.S.
I love that she ended up living on the same street as a Rockefeller. Like, that was everything.
That was everything. That house, I Googled it after. Like, it's so nice. Sickening. I absolutely, it's an amazing story.
And Dr. Robert was just the worst.
Oh, he was the worst, but his dad was the best
His
part
dad was the
of
best.
the whole series. I want to know what happened to him.
I know, and it makes you think, and we spoke about this. We were just on Margaret Joseph's podcast last week, and we were talking all about like what type of man can be married to a successful woman, and like it really is not for everyone. Like, look at Dr. Robert Lee. It's like he was not well.
No, and like he even wasn't automatically bad. Like, he really tried, and he tried to be supportive, but he just like couldn't take himself out of the equation.
I know, and he couldn't even see himself as like maybe being not good at his job. Like, he was like that sketch of the girl, like that was not the brand.
Yeah, and I just don't understand that, because if like my significant other was just having so much success, and like, well, how am I going to go and make it about me? Like, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the fruits, maybe start my own thing, but I'm not going to insist that I get involved and make it worse.
Yeah, I mean, well, you think back now it's okay for like a woman to be.
No, but I'm just saying on a personal level. Yeah, I guess all those dynamics have changed, but I'm just saying like isn't it just nice to like be with a successful person and enjoy those fruits?
I was just living for Madam CJ.
The egos are out of control.
At first I was so confused because her name was Sarah. And I'm like, maybe this isn't about CJ Walker. Like I was so confused. But then his name was CJ and I was like, okay. They never really explained like why the name of the company was his name.
But I think it's because that when you married someone, like you became Mrs. CJ Walker.
Yeah, and probably to be taken seriously. Like they thought it should be owned by a man.
Yeah. Perhaps. I thought there were some things about it that I really liked. There were some like scenes or just the way that they filmed it that I like wasn't crazy about.
Yeah.
But overall I loved it. It was such a feel good show. When she got the Saunders contract, I literally had chills. And then at the end, like if you didn't watch it yet, it ends where she's watching the fireworks, like with her parents and her future descendants. Like I literally was gonna start crying.
Same, except I had one major problem.
Oh, the way that they incorporated this new adopted daughter,
Yes!
even though we never got to know her or see her in that context.
So I am sure that in real life, like this girl was a part of the business, a part of the family, like grew up in the house. Like I am 100% sure of it. But literally, we met this girl in the last episode, and then she ended up being the heiress. Like she was just standing with Tiffany Haddish and CJ Walker. Like it was just. She was not supposed to be there. Like she was virtually a stranger according to the storyline. Like it was just so convenient that this girl just showed up and she was beautiful.
It's crazy that that's actually what happened. It made it feel like fictional.
Yeah, but I'm sure that in real life that this girl was like a major part of the story of the family.
They totally missed that, especially because having an heir for Madam CJ Walker was so important to her, and they just sort of kind of threw this in at the end where it's like that is everything.
That girl should have been on the second episode when they were in the salon. Like even if that's not how it happened, like she should have been a part of the business for longer.
Or a few more scenes where she's just like having family dinner and she's just any time that Madam CJ Walker and Tiffany Haddish are together, she should have been there right after we met her.
It took away from the authenticity. Like it felt so copy and paste.
That is the authentic story. You know?
Why, that girl just came the last day? No, I'm sure she was.
But like the authentic story is that girl did become a part of the family, and then her children and grandchildren are the ones who are carrying on the legacy of Madam CJ Walker. And I'm pretty sure it's that girl's granddaughter who wrote the book
inspired by this series.
That inspired the series.
Yes. I'm so glad you agree. I thought that was like so random and just like an afterthought when it was so important.
It was so important, and it was not well executed. But also it just like makes me so happy that even 100 years later that now like the world knows that Addie was just like such a bitch.
I know. And I just want to know like who was the real Addie.
Oh yeah, but it's like I'm sure at the time she like with every win she was like I won.
Yeah.
But it's like no, 100 years later and you have very much lost.
And what I gathered from the entire series is that men are shit. Like when fucking Tiffany Haddish's husband was going to Addie, and then like fucking Madam CJ Walker's husband was like tricking on her. Like I was getting so frustrated, and I was continually being let down by these idiotic men, and I was getting so frustrated. I'm like, look, they're literally babysitting these men, like making them a living, making them a home, making them everything, cooking, cleaning, and being the breadwinner. And they're still running around cheating on them, spying on them. It's not enough. Like I literally was getting so frustrated. Tiffany Haddish's husband was like a moron.
Here's the moral of the story. Men are shit except for W.E.B. Du Bois.
Yeah, his dad, right?
No, that he's like the icon. He was in Harlem with them. He was the one that she was talking to when she was having dinner and then when she fainted.
And Ramson.
Ransom.
He was everything. He was everything. When he gave her that $500 and it ended up being, I was so upset. And then that scene where he ended up getting lynched. Oh my God, that was fucking terrible. Oh
my God.
And he was like, I grew up my whole life being embarrassed of my cousin, and he got killed for my son. Oh my God, I wanted to die. That was so sad.
It was so sad. It made me I think the mark of a good show or movie is something that makes you laugh and makes you cry.
Yeah, because Octavia Spencer was being hilarious. Like she was just so unstoppable. Like she was really making me giggle.
Yeah. But also it totally made me cry, gave me chills, and that's just what you want out of your Netflix series. And I really haven't seen that much promotion about it, maybe because of the Corona times. It's been sort of overshadowed.
Well, Netflix has done their top 10. It's number 1.
Oh, good, because I think it's such an important story. I think it's a fabulous story.
I'm like embarrassed that I didn't know it.
No, me too. And I also want some of that magical hair grower.
So I don't know if the Walker Company is still in business, because I Googled the Walker Company and the first thing that came up was like a plumbing company in Minnesota.
Oh, interesting.
And they said in the series that they went to business in the 70s, and then they stopped the timeline after that. So it made me think that the Walker Company went out of business in the 70s.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, 80 years or whatever. That's sickening.
$1 million in like 1920s, probably like
you
$1 billion.
Add 2 zeros.
Oh, okay. So it's $100 million now?
Yeah.
Nice.
Not too bad.
Plus, if you invested wisely, stock market, etc.
It was really, I
didn't know that about add 2 zeros.
Yeah, that's what I heard once. Like when you calculate inflation, like back when America first got started, it's 2 zeros.
Interesting. Okay, so like if a piece of pizza used to be like 25 cents.
$2.50. Same. They said then he bought like a beer in the show was 25 cents, and then I was like, add 2 zeros, $2.50 for a beer is like not that crazy.
Is it 25 cents or $25?
Okay, wait. 0.25.
Yeah, add 1 0. Well, you have to
You
add.
move the decibel. I don't know.
Maybe it's for a pie pizza, $25.
Honestly, but you know what? A beer these days could cost $25.
Yeah.
It just depends where you are.
Maybe a piece of pizza used to be a nickel.
Yeah, maybe.
$5.
Yeah, that's it.
Wait, no.
I don't know.
then
$50. Oh yeah, a nickel. That would make more sense.
No, but then it's 0.5, so you move one, and then it's $5.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
This isn't making sense.
Whatever. All in all, a great assignment, and I'm really glad that we chose it.
So when he gave her $500, now that would have been.
I was thinking $50,000, and it's like, damn, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's factory money,
and that's something that your wife like is concerned about.
And that's factory money.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. I was thinking add 2 zeros, but again, I don't know why I know that. Like where I made that
They
up.
sell in Sephora. It's still in business.
Oh my
gosh.
God.
I want to get some of that hair grower. It looks
Totally.
fabulous.
Well, and then it was so interesting to see her hair over the course of the, like when she was home and she took her hair out of the hat and everything, her hair was like down to her ass.
It's called Madam C.J. Walker Beauty Culture. Wow, amazing.
Oh, okay. It is still in business. I'm sorry for spreading misinformation yet again here on the show. So we'll recap what else we watched, but we're going to give a new assignment, which I chose and I wanted to watch last night with Ben and he was like not in the mood. But to me, I just can't believe I don't know about this movie. It's on Netflix. It's called Mad Money. It's a 2008 comedy featuring Diane Keaton, Queen Latifah, and Katie Holmes, where they like rob a bank or something. They all work and like at the Federal Reserve as janitors, and they end up stealing money. So I just couldn't believe there was a Diane Keaton movie that I didn't know about that also featured my favorite Queen Latifah and then also Katie Holmes, but I don't really like die for her. It's on Netflix. It's called Mad Money, and I don't know anything about it. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I just thought like we should all see this movie. Like I didn't even know about it.
Yeah, sure.
It's on Netflix. Check it out. That's the assignment for tomorrow. Another thing that I watched over the weekend was New York Minute, which you told me that was on Netflix.
Yes. Oh my God. What a treat, huh?
What a treat. You know, I had totally forgotten about that movie and how it was really like their first grown-up movie. Like there was just like, not that it was like sexual or anything, but it was a more mature film.
I think they like even had like a different production company because it wasn't that like Passport to Paris vibe.
No,
like,
and this one was in theaters.
yeah.
So I just really loved, and I remember this being kind of like their last movie, and it really made me sad because at that time in their lives, they were like so cute. They were everything. Like if they had made a few more movies, that movie was actually really good. I was surprised at how not dumb it was.
No, it was so good and just like nuanced.
Star-studded. Dr. Drew, their dad.
Avril Lavigne.
Dr. Avril Lavigne once said Simple Plan was actually in it. Eugene Levy was the detective. Like it was star-studded.
It was star-studded.
It was really, really good. Oh, and the two guys who played like their boyfriends were like such classic 90s guys. That guy's from Gilmore Girls. And then the guy on the bike that Mary-Kate ended up with, like he was just like a classic like rom-com 90s teen star.
No, Mary-Kate ended up with the senator's son.
No.
It was opposites attract, yes.
Ashley did. Ashley
No.
played Roxanne.
No.
Yes, I looked it up.
Mary-Kate played Roxanne.
Ashley did. I looked it up.
Mary-Kate played Roxy.
Okay.
100%.
IMDb, New York Minute.
New York Minute cast. Mary-Kate
I'm telling you,
played
Ashley
Roxy.
played.
Mary-Kate played Roxy.
Ashley played Roxy.
Okay, we're going to find out in 3, 2.
Oh shit. Okay,
one.
Mary-Kate played Roxy. Whatever. Yeah, like that guy was from Gilmore Girls, and then the other guy was like so classic. Like he might as well have been in like What a Girl Wants. Like, you know?
Yeah, no, the casting was on point. It was so cute. And it's a great, like, actually, they did a really good job in the city, except there were a few times when they were, like, traveling up and down downtown. They were, like, on Park Avenue, then they were in Midtown, and then
they were in
Times
Flatiron.
Square.
I saw that
it was
too.
a little confusing.
And then they were in Chinatown. Like,
they did, like, a pretty good job.
yeah. The movie, I don't think could be made today because they were playing into some really offensive Chinese stereotypes. But I was able to look past it. But I just wanted to be noted, like, things have changed so much, you know? Like, you can never really make a movie like that.
Things have changed.
The other thing I watched all day yesterday was The Tiger King. And everyone's talking about it.
So what is it? I didn't watch it.
It's a documentary about this. I didn't even know what it was about until the end. And to be honest, this whole trend of documentaries being made into TV shows where they have 7 or 8 episodes, to me is so unnecessary. Tiger King had 7 or 8 episodes, and it was really, really funny in the beginning and like an interesting story. But by episode 4, I was done. But Ben was enjoying it, so I watched it, and I guess I just wanted to see how it all ended up. It was basically like Battle of the Zoos. Like there were these 3 or 4 zoos all across the country a couple years ago that were competing for like the same business, and they were all breeding exotic animals. And it's actually not illegal to breed exotic tigers and have them as pets. And it definitely highlighted like how weird it is that there's no legislation against having like a tiger in your house and breeding them. And there's only 5,000 like big cats left in the world. And like literally 100 of them are in America in random zoos. Like why? So that, I thought the message was important, but it was just so silly. Like, I don't even know how to explain what it was. And to me, everyone was wrong. And the guy who ended up in jail, like he was insane, but he was virtually harmless, and all the people around him like really framed him, I think. But the weird thing about it is that one of the guys involved, he wasn't the star of the documentary, he was just like someone who added context, was another zoo owner. His name is Doc Antle. Listen, it's interesting. And when this main zoo guy got sent to jail, he was mad that all the other zoo guys didn't go to jail, and he gave them dirt. He gave dirt to PETA. And he told PETA that Doc Antle euthanizes all of his tigers once they get past a certain age, because you can't like pet a big tiger with kids around. He euthanizes them in a gas chamber. He has a gas chamber on his property. Like he was giving such crazy things to PETA. And it ended up being true. In 2019, the FBI invaded Doc Antle's farm. But Ben was like, this name sounds so familiar. And Ben follows an Instagram account called Cody Antle, who ends up being Doc Antle's son and who like runs the safari still. He's like all these celebrities. Beyonce went.
Is that where the Kardashians went?
No, they went to Black Jaguar, White Tiger in Mexico. And that's an actual sanctuary for animals. Like this is a zoo. And Beyonce's been there, Logan Paul. Like I was just looking at this guy's Instagram. He's like a huge star. He has 2 million followers. His dad is obviously not the face of the company anymore. Since this documentary came out, I think that's the best decision.
Since he has a gas chamber?
Since he has a gas chamber and was raided by the FBI. And it turns out his whole thing was a cult. Like literally all the girls who work for him, they have to live on the property. They can't stop working. Like it was a cult. Like, and it's just like, you're just being an influencer, like taking videos with all your tigers. He posted one last night. And all the comments, no one was even mentioning. I'm like, you're related to Doc Antle. He euthanized his tigers.
Wow.
It's such a dumb documentary. Honestly, I was annoyed that I wasted 7 hours of my life on it. But what are you going to do?
Well, I'm glad that you did so that I don't have to.
Yeah, but there were funny things. Like Joe Exotic, he was this guy. He wanted to be a star, Jackie. Like he had his zoo. It was all about him. He sold merch with his face on it. He started making music videos. He had a web show. Like he wanted to be a star. He was making a lot of money at one point. Hired like this world-renowned producer to come down and film his whole life to pitch a reality show, The Tiger King, Joe Exotic. Like he was so insane. And to me, he was interesting and he was like the focal point of the whole documentary. But he was the one who ended up in jail for pretending to kill this PETA activist. Like it was so stupid, honestly. I can't even explain. It was really dumb, but I watched it because everyone's watching it, and that's what I do these days.
And that's what happens when people aren't putting out premium content, and I don't understand what the point is. No, I don't understand where the content is. Like, every other day of life, there's always something exciting coming out. And like, we're home for 2 weeks straight now, and you can't throw us a bone here.
Nothing.
Where's season 2 of The Society?
Where the fuck is season 2 of The Society?
Where's the homie now?
Drop the rest of Little Fires Everywhere now.
Oh, I started the book Little Fires Everywhere, and I love the premise. And like, it's just I agree. So Stepford, like, so my vibe. But in the book, I think I'm at 20%. It's just a lot of backstory so far.
Oh. That's funny because in the series, we've gotten no backstory.
Oh, but no, you're probably watching the backstory like as it plays out, whereas for us, this is all in hindsight. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I actually, because I'm so fucking bored.
Does it start with the fire?
Yes.
Oh, and then it goes to how we got to the fire.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what the show is.
Because I'm so fucking bored, like I want to have the experience of reading a book, seeing how I feel about it, and then seeing how they make it into a show, because that sounds like a sensation that might get me through these quarantines.
You know, my last year in college, I took a class called Cinema and Lit, where you read the book and then watch a movie. And I didn't read any of the books, but I enjoyed a lot of the movies.
Yeah, so I think that'll be like a fun thing to do. On Friday, I read American Royals, which was the book that Snitch and I were reading together, and it was super cute. She loved it way more than I did. I gave it a 4, but she gave it a 5. But I would recommend it if you're into just like cute YA rom-com
Hallmarky vibes
literature.
Yeah.
Then on Saturday, I watched Self-Made, and I started Little Fires Everywhere. I've also been watching The Bold Type like throughout. I'm on season 3 now. And I like it. You know, there's some things about it that I really like, some things about it that I loathe entirely.
So little content, like you just have to stick with the dumb shows.
Right, and like the things that you know. And it's cute enough. And I'm also in the middle of Little Fires Everywhere still. I watched Curb last night. It was one of those perfect episodes.
Okay, I'm going to watch when I get
like
home today.
Every, like, you know how he just like everything starts and then it ends. And he like, it
full
just,
circle.
It's perfect.
Okay,
Full
good.
circle. And I think it felt like a season finale,
okay,
but I'm hoping that it's not. Also, Zach got one of those Latte Larry's hats, because you know how Mad Happy did the collab, and I asked for a shirt, but they had already sold out, and I just really want a Latte Larry shirt if anyone works at Mad Happy.
If anyone works at Mad Happy, I really want the sweatshirt with Larry's face on the back. I think we might have to go to eBay. Pay a premium, though.
Okay, well, anything for Latte Larry's, and honestly, his coffee looks so good.
No, honestly, Latte Larry's looks like an oasis.
Yeah, no, literally it's everything. Well, you have to watch this episode, but it's like everything I would ever want, like clean, tables bolted to the ground, delicious hot coffee, scones that, oh no, I like scones that are soft. I think I would like Mocha Joe's
I don't like scones. I mean, I would eat one.
I think you would like Mocha Joe's scones because they're muffins.
Right.
As
right. Okay, we have to go because we are going to prep for our interview with Dr. Deborah Birx, which is going to air on tomorrow's episode. So if you listen to tomorrow as a podcast, it'll be at the end of the podcast. And if you're watching as a video, it'll be available as a video separately from tomorrow's episode right after we end the show. So thank you guys so much for listening to the Morning Toast Millennial Morning Show, where we go live Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We're also available as a podcast and where podcasts can be found. So that's Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Radio, iHeartRadio, CastBox, all the places. So wherever you listen to podcasts, find us, The Morning Toast. Thank you. Hi. Leave a 5-star review about how beautiful, stunning, and smart we are. Stay at your house. We'll be alone together, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Stay at your house. We'll be alone together. Thank you to all the healthcare workers who are saving lives.